So, today we're going to talk about something pretty wild from Anthropic. Just imagine an AI that can do more than just chat with you, an AI that can actually take the wheel and control your computer to get stuff done. And no, this isn't science fiction anymore. It's a real feature in Claude, and we're going to break down exactly what it is and how you can start using it right now.
Here's what we've got on tap. We're going to start with a pretty mind-blowing demo. Then we'll get into what this whole computer use thing really is. After that, I'll walk you through how to set it all up, explore the crazy potential this unlocks, and wrap things up with a look at its current limits and where this is all headed.
All right, let's just dive right in. I think the best way to really wrap your head around this tool is to see an example that honestly feels like it's straight out of the future.
Yeah, you heard that right. That's not some kind of trick. The video that this whole explainer is based on was literally started by Claude. The user just gave it a simple command, and the AI took over from there to get the recording going. We're talking about a real-world task done completely on its own.
So just think about what that really means for a second. This wasn't some pre-written script or a macro. The AI literally looked at the screen, just like a person would. It found the right app, it scanned all the buttons and menus, zeroed in on the one that said start recording, and clicked it. That's visual navigation, not just running some code.
So what is going on here? How is this even possible? What exactly is this feature that turns a language model into your own personal assistant for your desktop?
Okay, so at its heart, computer use basically gives Claude a set of eyes and hands for your computer. It can take screenshots to see exactly what you're seeing, and then it can use your mouse and keyboard to interact with your apps directly. It really is like having a co-pilot sitting right there with you, just waiting for you to tell it what to do.
And here's how it thinks. It's this super simple but really powerful loop. First, it sees by taking a quick screenshot to figure out what's on your screen. Then it moves on to understand, where it spots all the important stuff like buttons or search bars. And finally, it acts. It moves the mouse, it clicks, it types, whatever it needs to do to finish the job you gave it. And it just keeps running that loop until the task is done. All right, so let's get practical. You're probably wondering how you can get this fired up on your own computer. Well, good news. It's actually way more straightforward than you might think. The whole thing is set up right inside the Claude desktop app. You just pop into your settings, find the toggle for computer use, and flip it on. Your computer is then going to ask for permission to let Claude record the screen and use accessibility features. You'll have to say yes to those for it to work its magic.
Now, if you happen to run into any issues, here are a few quick things to try. First, be super specific with what you ask it to do. Starting your prompt with something like use computer use to tells it exactly what tool you want it to use. Also, double-check that your app is up to date. And, the classic IT advice, try quitting and restarting the app after you turn the feature on. Oh, and don't be alarmed if you have to grant permission again the first time it tries to open a new app.
Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. See, computer use doesn't just exist on its own. When you start combining it with other things, it goes from a cool party trick to a total productivity game changer. This really feels like a shift from AI that just understands words to AI that actually does things in your world.
The real power move here is when you pair computer use with another feature called Dispatch. Now, Dispatch basically lets you send commands to Claude from your phone just by sending a text. So you put the two together, and bam, you can control your desktop computer from literally anywhere. Say you're on the train and realize you need a file that's sitting in your downloads folder at home. You can just text your computer and tell it to find that file and email it to you. Insane, right?
And this is the real kicker. This opens up automation for all sorts of tasks that used to be impossible to automate. Think about that ancient software your company uses that doesn't have a modern API. Well, now Claude can operate it. You could tell it to download a report every single Friday, or you could even have it just click around a new app you're building to try and find bugs. It's seriously like having a virtual intern to handle all your boring, repetitive digital chores.
Look, this all sounds incredible, and it is, but before you get too carried away, we need to do a little reality check. This is a brand new feature, and right now, it definitely comes with some pretty big limitations.
First off, it's what they're calling a research preview, which is just a fancy way of saying it might be slow or a little buggy. For now, it's also only on macOS, though they say Windows support is just a few weeks away. You'll need a Claude Pro plan to even see the option. And there's one really major restriction we need to talk about. And yeah, this is the big one. For security reasons, Claude can't actually click buttons or type into web browsers right now. It can open Safari and read what's on a web page, sure, but it can't interact with it. So what that means is that its real power, at least for today, is in controlling the apps you have installed on your computer. Think your email client, your file system, things like that. Not so much for automating tasks on the internet.
But it's really important to look at the big picture here. Anthropic is pushing out new features at a dizzying pace. This browser limitation, it's almost certainly a temporary safety measure. The direction they're heading is crystal clear. They're building toward a completely integrated AI assistant that works across your entire digital life. It's just going to take a little more time to get there safely and get it right.
So there you have it, a powerful new tool that puts an AI copilot right on your desktop. Yeah, it's still early days, but the potential to automate all those tedious jobs and just make you more productive is massive. And that really leaves us with just one question. Once you have an assistant that can see your screen and do what you say, what's the very first thing you're going to ask it to do? The possibilities are just getting started.